absolute state of this clown. Grand Upper! Well, the gameplay in part 2 was awful. I got a C rank, which is an absolute embarrassment. It's kind of hard to play and talk with this game at the same time, though it's so damn fast. You think there's a lot of things on the screen in the first half of the game, you should see the second half. This is a good level though, one of my favourites. The cargo ship. Oh my god. Honestly, best soundtrack in video game history. Easily. Fucking arsehole. Mr. and Mrs. Y, the sons and daughters, or son and daughter I should say, of Mr. X from Streets of Rage 1, 2 and 3. I think it was all the trilogy, anyway. And I'm not a big fan of their design, very weebish, and just downright ridiculous. Can't say I'm too happy with their design, but it doesn't matter that much, it doesn't ruin the game or anything. You can see that move when... Oh my god, look at this. That move when she gets on the shoulders, that reminds me of Skate from Streets of Rage 2 and 3. He is playable in this game, of course, and I always used to play as Axel or Skate, very rarely as Blaze or Max. One of the reasons why I don't like the fact that you can't accrue extra lives easily on this game is because, for me, obviously I'm quite shit, needless to say, but fucking hell. That's it with this game, you can't make a mistake, otherwise it could be over before it begins. You could get to the end of the level, yeah, this could happen here, this could happen. Like, if I lose this life now, before I can get to a turkey up the stairs to my right, then I might have to restart the whole thing, and that's just not fun. Having to restart the level again and again and again. Like, I always, at the start of level 9 in the last level, you can go and retry, and at the start of the level, just give yourself an extra life, but get half the points. Really, the points don't mean much. So what does it matter in the grand scheme of things, right? Brilliant. I'm going to lose a life here with Big Ben. The enemies are very quick to pick up the melee weapons that they've lost on this game. Gotta be wary of that. Now, this part coming up is very difficult because, quite simply, as you can see, you can't move up or down. And you're going to get attacked from the back, from the rear, as Lord Harris, avoiding the puddle, would say. Brilliant, the classic knife. Are you fucking for real? I mean, look how quick I'm doing things now. Absolutely insane. And yet I die still from one hit. This game's quite tough. But I'm getting old. I'm sure it's easy for the kiddies. Thing is, the boss on this level is one of the easier bosses in the game. As you can see here, we've now got an 8-bit soundtrack. I do obviously appreciate the fact that we can play classic Streets of Rage music, but I'm not interested in hearing the 8-bit soundtrack because it sounds like shit, in my opinion. So, we're going to have the actual proper music for a change. And as you can hear, it's good, serviceable music. It's not classic Streets of Rage shit, but it'll do. But as we can see here, what's this character? Oh, Nora. Yeah, of course. If she whips one of the Galcias, then they will become much more powerful and much more irritating. So you can choose to get rid of the Galcias before that happens. I have failed to do so though, following the trend of absolute appalling gameplay that you've been seeing so far. You've become accustomed to that level of gameplay, ladies and gentlemen. Why would we change now? Ba, ba, ba. Yeah, but we will see more mistresses later in the game. There's like 3 at once later on. Brilliant. She's whipped 2 of them, so that's awful of me to allow that to happen. There's better spikes on the wall. You can get hurt by that, but they can as well. In the background to the left, you can also see a gimp mask. The more you know. It's pretty outrageous, ladies and gentlemen. What I'm choosing to do now, though, and it has been working for the last 30 seconds or so, was just avoiding the Galcias and taking on Nora herself, and that worked pretty well, as I bounced off the wall too. Well, the gameplay was awful. It's a B rank. You know, some games, the more you replay them, the better you get. For me, this isn't one of them. The more I play it, sometimes I actually get worse. But you need to be patient with this game, and even then you can sometimes get screwed over by the enemies. Seems legit. Okay, the old pier. Got to be careful here because there are a lot of bottomless pits. You don't just lose a life, but you still lose a lot of health. And these enemies who've just dropped in, the ladies, they are tough enemies. And when they jump like that, they jump diagonally. So don't think by moving up and down that you'll avoid them necessarily, because you might not. And of course, I'm losing my fucking voice. Of course I am. Wow, still not dead? Are you kidding me? Some of the shit munching enemies on this game, like I spoke of before, have way too much HP. Some enemies, because they've got throwing attacks, it's easy to knock them into the bottomless pit, but with Cherry, it isn't as easy. You fucking douchebag. What the fuck? I should have landed! Everyone's getting the bat. Really like that the slide attack doesn't hurt you though, as you're doing your Y move. Gotta be very careful here. Just gone down myself, but got the apple, so we've accrued back that health. So I'm quite happy with that, to be honest. Fuck off. Oh my god. Oh, see how she avoided that? That's fucking bollocks, game, and you know it. This part's tough. My god. Wow. Wow, game. Just wow, you know? Thank God I just picked up that turkey. Those guys to the left are just fighting each other and have been for quite a while. Thing is though, I don't think, I might be wrong here, but I don't think they lower each other's health. So all that fighting, if you're thinking that they'll just have very little health, I don't think it works like that. Last couple of minutes of gameplay have been a lot better. I am content. If you use a taser on one of those arcade machines, you can play a retro level. I don't think you get anything for completing them, but it's a nice little touch anyway. Now, we've obviously... Oh, I kept on, I forgot. I kept on the new soundtrack. I didn't remember to switch back to the retro soundtrack, and I think that speaks volumes of how pretty good the soundtrack is on this game. But this soundtrack that you're hearing now, this is my favourite. This is immense, this soundtrack. This is like classic Streets of Rage levels good. It's my favourite in the game. Like, their ideology for this game was always to pick songs that fit what Streets of Rage was back in the day, but modernise it as well with a new twist and all that bullshit, and I think they managed to do that. Wow, okay, that's fair. Oh, see that? Right into the bottle. That's absolute bullshit. That is just... Game. Game. Seriously, game. Video game, please. A lot of fighting going on in the background there. And ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Estelle. Wow. 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 She just countered some of my attacks, and she's also very fast. I mean, Cherry's fast, but this woman's faster. As you can see, the bombs will not hurt her. That video game logic, though. And you better believe that these bombs are going to start dropping a lot faster in the second half of this fight. And here's Dick, whatever his name is. Oh, Ferrocci. One of them's called Dick, I know that much. Very apt indeed, if you ask me. Backup requested. Now she's throwing a few haymakers. The commissioner at the end of level 2. Estelle's got a few similar moves, and later on we'll actually fight them both together. Can I actually do something here again, please? Thank you. Wow. 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 You know? You know what I mean, ladies and gentlemen? You know when you just want to say wow? Well, look at the speed of her. It's much faster than any other enemy I can think of in Streets of Rage 1 or 2 at least. Also, the fire. When those bombs drop, the fire lasts for longer than you would anticipate. Later on when we fight Rihanna, you heard that correctly, the fire effect that she does, that always gets you when you think it's disappeared, and it's still on the floor and you get hit by it. Wow, C rank. What a fucking absolute embarrassment, ladies and gentlemen. But that's stage 3 and 4 done. I'll see you for 5 and 6. I think the next level's Underground, which I quite like, and then Chinatown, which is one of my least favourites. It also includes a part which, I don't know, it must just be for people with attention deficit disorder, because, well, you just have to see it. Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon.